Trap 3 is a great trapper. It's Ningbo Jack, again, lightning early speed. Another one trained by Charlie Lister. He tried to make all in the third round. Indeed, he tried to make all throughout the competition. He was picked up by Count Jellignite, but he's staying a lot better than people thought he would. Of course, last year he was in the won the Laurels. He also won the Nottingham sprint competition, the national sprint. Hence, he was the BGRB Sprinter of the Year. High quality in this first quarter final. Lifford sprint competition last year mixed in with that. Blaze a trail. Can he blaze a trail, Ningbo Jack? Because he's got Miniola Farlow out wide in trap 4. Seamus Graham trains this for Seamus McCluskey and Michael Hatton, of course, of Premier Fantasy fame. Won the Easter Cup at Shelbourne Park earlier this year. Last year won the Irish Derby Consolation. It just gets better. Of course, he beat the mighty Tyra Ted in winning the Easter Cup this year, but he's had an injury scare in this year's Derby. Cut foot in the first round heat. He had probably the most well-known paw in greyhound racing for a time. Stitched up, rearing to go once again, Miniola Farlow. Locked in flyer, runs out of trap 5. He's running with so much credit for John Fain, of course. He's got open race wins at Rye House, Romford and Wimbledon. Rye House almost a standing dish over the 5.75. Hence we know Locked in flyer stays. He won the Essex Bars last year. He was third in the Coronation Cup earlier this year, and I thought he ran an absolute tremendous race to finish third behind Mustang Oakey in the third round. Remember, he ran from 2. He's much better now out wide in 5 or 6. Possibly a leader out wide if those inside find trouble is Corey King. Great early pace. You can see 3 and 6 battling away. Corey King, trained by Andy Johnson for Oliver Racing. He's got wins at Wimbledon, at Walthamstow. He's a semi-finalist in the PAL at Mao. He's a sub-29 second dog at Walthamstow. And he's running at the top of his game at the moment. 2 wins from 3 starts in this year's Derby, picked up by Mustang Oakey, but, of course, in front of Locked in flyer in the third round.
Eyes down, pulsating, 29 seconds in front of us here. They're off and racing up towards the first bend, and Ningbo Jack first to show here, leads by a good 4 or 5 lengths from Corey King. Robbie De Niro on the inside there of 4, Miniola Farlow. So go around the second bend, it's Ningbo Jack in front, Miniola Farlow off in chase in second. After these comes 6 on the outside, Corey King, and then comes 2, Robbie De Niro. They come around the second last bend. It's 3, Ningbo Jack leading them round the final bend. Still has 2 lengths to spare. Over 4 in second, Miniola Farlow. After these comes Corey King, and they race up towards the line. Ningbo Jack is going to win by a length from 4 in second, Miniola Farlow. Locked in flyer, runner well to take third. Ningbo Jack's superb early pace tore up towards the first bend. Robbie De Niro didn't have a chance to get muddled up with Ningbo Jack. Just sheer speed to the first bend. Took a middle course up to the turn, cut in, and stayed on to win. Miniola Farlow finishing second. Let's follow the fortunes of Miniola Farlow. Fluffed the start. Look at the difference between them as they left the traps there, Ningbo Jack and Miniola Farlow. There was a 4-length lead already at the line first time. The other qualifier, Locked in flyer, just basically outpaced early on, got crowded, but was staying on nicely inside the closing stages. Ningbo Jack returned at 3-1, helter-skelter down the far side. Miniola Farlow, we know, is no slouch whatsoever in the early pace department, is off in chase in second place. Scrap on for the third qualifying spot, and it's Locked in flyer in trap 5 that stays on the best here inside the closing stages. Ningbo Jack is getting tired, but with enough to spare to win by a length in the end from Miniola Farlow, and Locked in flyer just had a Corey King, Ballymacnylough and Robbie De Niro.
4 nights later, he was back again for the semi-final.
Well, here we go. Derby semi-final time. The first semi-final, the first dog in. It's Count Jellignite, trained by Stephen Borkin Island for Mr. Wing. He continues his love affair with Wimbledon, a quarter-finalist in the English Derby last year, as well as the Olympic final as well. And he's run Wimbledon once again terrifically. If you go back to his trial line on the 28th of May, when from trap 1, interesting because he's got the red today, he beat none other than Bioduff Light in 28.75. We should all got on at fancy prices at each way from then. His guts has got him through. I think he'll relish the red. Here's trap 2. Blue Majestic, a much improved performer. He also has fallen in love with Wimbledon. His card owner, Michael Hatton, of course, of Premier Fantasy fame, has shown and has told me. Seamus Graham, of course, he trains Blue Majestic, and he'll try to keep tabs with Ningbo Jack early doors. He's not devoid of early paces, this fella. Easter Cup third, behind Miniola Farlow, who runs in the second semi-final, and behind Tyra Ted. What One of the stars of the quarterfinals, trap 3, Ningbo Jack. Has any dog come out of the Wimbledon traps as quick as this fella? 2 wins from 5 starts here, but he's getting better. He perhaps doesn't stay as stronger as Westmead Hawk, as Droopy's Marco, but it's that pace to halfway which is always going to be all important. He'll try to, well, catch me if you can, Ningbo Jack. He's part owned by Diane Kennedy and Helen Halbert, already won the Laurels and the National Sprint at Bellevue, trained by the Derby King, Charlie Lister. Locked-in flyer. One of the training performances, I think, of the 2005 Derby, John Fane. He brought this greyhound from winning 5.75 metre races at Romford. He was, of course, the Essex Fast champion last year, as well as running 3rd in the Coronation Cup earlier this year. He brought him down in distance, but he's absolutely flying. He's done it from the front, he's done it from the back. He qualified behind Ningbo Jack in the quarterfinals, only beaten by 1 3/4. He's not going to lead these, but he'll be running on strongly. Probably needs crowding amongst the leaders, but none will be finishing as fast. Geldrop's Touch runs out of trap 5 for Owen McKenna. He went mighty close in the English Derby with Deerfield Sunset. He won, of course, the Irish Derby last year with the ill-fated Like a Shot. Geldrop's Touch was in that final as well. He's got lightning early speed. He won the Project Stakes in 2004. If 2 and 3 come together early, you've got to look for trap 5, Geldrop's Touch. He will try to make all. He won on Laverick 600 night at Shelbourne Park in 30-20. And of course he's there to pick up the pieces if the middle runners get in each other's way. He's the wearing the tartan, Droopy's Marco. He is the Scottish Derby champion. He's bidding to win the 2nd leg of the Triple Crown. He's trained by Fraser Black and owned by Lawrence Blunt and Martin Wakefield. 2 Englishmen, Scottish trainer, based in Ireland. United Nations, here we come. 4 wins from 5 starts. Electric pace really from bends 2 to 4. I've not seen a greyhound run bends 1 and 2 as well as Droopy's Marco in this year's Derby. That's his great strength, but can he get a run early on? If he's on the shoulders of them all off the 2nd, they'll not hold him.
Pulsating 29 seconds in front of us then. The first semi-final of the William Hill Greyhound Derby. We're off and running and racing out towards the first bend, and Geldrop's Touch away well, but not as good as Ningbo Jack. He's out and gone again, and Ningbo Jack goes round in front and leads Blue Majestic. Droopy's Marco in trouble as they head down the far side. It's Ningbo Jack then by 3.5 lengths over 2. Blue Majestic then comes 5. Back in 3rd, Geldrop's Touch, and Droopy's Marco is last. Stick around his 2nd last bend. It's Ningbo Jack, chased all the time by Blue Majestic. Ningbo Jack then by a length from Blue Majestic in 5. Geldrop's Touch as the line comes up. Ningbo Jack just from Blue Majestic, and back in 3rd was Geldrop's Touch. Charlie Lister has got Ningbo Jack out of the traps again. Great early pace, and he lasts home by a head here from Blue Majestic in 2nd and Geldrop's Touch in 3rd, and Droopy's Marco is out. Well, how wrong you can be. I thought everything was set fair for a big run from Droopy's Marco, but it wasn't to be. Running up towards the first bend, Geldrop's Touch wasn't too well away, and they were both looking for racing room into the first turn.